Hi, all. This is Misty with Pixel Financial Group with some very important, super urgent information on the taxability of the PPP loan. At about 6:42 last night, I received an email in my inbox from the IRS clarifying several things about the PPP loan, to include things I've already talked to you about in terms of the FTEs and the salary levels. However, the part that concerned me the most was just how they're going to treat the PPP loan forgiveness in terms of taxation. Now, the rule in terms of reporting the PPP loan forgiveness as income on your taxes is the same. Theoretically, it is not a taxable event. You do not have to report it on your taxes. However, they have said that the expenses on which you spend the PPP loan money will not be tax deductible business expenses, which doesn't sound that bad, right? Because we're not double dipping. We're not getting free money and then getting the tax benefit for the taxes. But what this does is essentially make the forgiveness of the PPP a taxable event for some people. So you're going to take your net income, just to give you an idea, and then you're going to add the expenses that you spent with the PPP funds back in. So if you are a client or an individual or a taxpayer who has a loss before and after you add those expenses back in, this is not a big deal for you. It's a non-issue. However, if you're anyone outside of that, it could become a problem that you need to be aware of and plan for now. For example, if you are a company who is currently working at a $10,000 loss, let's say at the end of the year you have $10,000 loss, but that includes $20,000 of expenses you use the PPP loan to pay, you have to add those $20,000 back in. So now you are at a $10,000 profit for tax purposes. You don't have to add them back in on your personal P&L report. You do have to add them back in for tax purposes on the tax return. So you're now paying taxes on $10,000. If you are a company that is at break even and you made no money, and now you have to add $20,000 of those expenses back in, you're now at a $20,000 profit, and so on and so forth. So if you're a company that's already at a profit and manages to stay that way for the rest of the year, then you're adding $20,000 on top of that profit. So what it has done essentially is made the PPP loan for some people, the forgiveness of it, in part or wholly taxable for people, which is why I'm calling it a backdoor way of making it a taxable event. It's incredibly important also that you have that separate bank account for the PPP funds so that it makes it easy for you, your bookkeepers, your accountants, your tax preparers to determine what is and is not an allowable expense in terms of the PPP loan on your tax returns. I'm not super happy about this. I don't think a lot of people are going to understand this unless they get this video. So I really, really encourage you all to please share this video so that they understand what they're getting themselves into. I think there are going to be a lot of surprises on the end of this because everything is so convoluted and so confusing, and I'm doing my best to try to unscrew it a little bit, but I'm only human. So please share this. Please get the information out. This needs to be part of the decision-making process in terms of whether or not you take this loan. It also needs to be part of your planning process moving forward. It needs to be part of your discussions with your CPAs and accountants. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, I cannot stress how important it is to share this information, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.